So yesterday we have already installed ESXi host. So after installing the ESXi host, we need to do the configuration. We need to configure the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. If you want to change the hostname, you can change the hostname as well. So we will do the initial configuration using DCUI. So we can access, sorry, DCUI. We can access the ESXi host using multiple interfaces. So initial configuration will be done via DCUI, where you will configure the IP address, subnet mask, gateway, and if you want to change the password, you can change it. So the main configurations will be like this. You will configure the IP address, you will configure the subnet mask gateway, etc. And you will do the other configurations as well. After that, you can't do the advanced things using this DCI. Like if you want to create the virtual machine, you need to access this ESXi host remotely using web center. So web client, okay, not web center, web client. And if you have multiple ESXi hosts, so using web client, you need to access, you need to create the multiple sessions. So to access the ESXi host using one session, we need vCenter server. So we have installed only one ESXi host. So we will be dealing with these two interfaces now. Okay, so let us configure the IP addresses. Let us do the initial configuration to the ESXi host. Okay, if you see here, just 1 second. Yeah, if you see here, this is the DCUI. The screen is blank. You need to double click. It will be activated. And by default, the IP address is configured by DHCP. The IP address is 192.168.140.188. This IP address is assigned by DHCP. So what is DHCP? It is a server which allows the IP addresses automatically. So what is the disadvantage of this DHCP? So let us say if I restart this computer, so it may get another IP address. So generally what we do on servers, we don't configure the IP addresses using DHCP. We will configure the static IP addresses to the server. It is not recommended to configure the IP addresses on servers using DHCP. You should always configure the static IP address. Why static IP address? Even if you restart the server, the IP address will be same. The IP address will not be changed of this server. Okay. So what we will do, we will configure the IP address from this network. Okay. So this network, it has got 192.168.140.0. Okay. This IP address is from 140.0 network. So we will use this network only. From this network, we will configure the IP address. If you select another network, I am talking about the labs. If you select another network, there will be a problem. So better to go with the same network. If you want, you can configure the same static IP address. Okay, but you should use the same network. So in your lab, you may get some other network. So use that network only. And if you talk about in real networks, you will get the IP addresses from the network team. You will take the IP address from the network team and you will assign it here. So how to assign the IP address? We need to type F2. So first we will activate the screen. After that, we need to we need to enter F2 here. Then we need to provide the root username and password. So while installing the ESXi host, root account is created. We had given the password Nova123 hash double. Then you will click OK. Again, you need to type F2. Okay. Now if you see here, we have these many options. The first option is configure password. If you want to change the password, you can select the first option. So we don't want to change the password here. And we will see what is this configure lockdown mode, okay, in our coming slides. Then if you see here, this option, configure management option. Just 1 second, guys. As you know, the pointer getting locked, we need to release it. Okay. Now, here, configure management network. So in this option, you will configure the IP address. Okay, you will configure the IP address, subnet mask, gateway, and you will get the information here. What is the host name? Local host. So this is the default host name of ESXi host. You should change it. So we'll change it to ESXi1 and we'll configure the static IP address. So we'll press enter here, configure network, so configure management network option, and it will show you the list of network adapter. On our virtual server, we have only one network adapter. If it is a physical server, you will get multiple network adapters. And if you want to configure the VLAN, so you will select the second option. So we are not going to configure any VLAN yet. We'll discuss what is this VLAN concepts in our advanced classes. And we want to configure the IP address. Okay, you can see this IP address is configured automatically. Automatically means it is configured by DSCP. And the IP address is like 192.168.140.188. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And the default gateway is 192.168.140.2. So this all this IP, this information is configured automatically. We need to, if you want to change the IP address, you will press enter here and you will get three options. The first option is disable IP version 4 configuration. So we don't want to disable. And the second option, it will configure the IP address. It will take the IP address from DSCP. The third option, you will configure the IP address manually. So if you see, this IP address is configured via DSCP. If you select this option, the same configuration will be configured statically. Let me show you. So you will go down and you will press space here to select the third option. Okay, remember this point. To select the options, you will press space. It has selected the space and you can see the IP address is configured statically. Now, if you want to change the IP address, you can change it. So what we will do, we will keep the same network. The first three portions will be same, 192.168.140. We will change the last portion. We will change 188 to 10. Okay, so the remember the IP address. The IP address is 192.168.140. Change. So guys, go with the same network. Okay, just change the last octet for our labs. In real networks, you will get the IP address from network team, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and the gateway is 168.140.0. Again, you will go with the 140.2 only. Don't change the default gateway in your labs. Then you will click OK, enter OK, and you will press escape. Okay, you can configure the IP version 6 as well. You can configure the DNS configuration as well. So what we will do, we will go with the default settings here. Okay, 192.168.140.2. Again, it has obtained the DNS from DSCP server. So we will select the second option to configure the DNS server statically, but we will change the host name. The host name is localhost. We will change the server name to ESXi1. Then we'll press OK. And if you want to customize the DNS suffix, you can do it. So we will go with default setting, local domain. Then you will click escape here. When you click escape, it will ask you to reset or restart the network management network, you can say. So to apply the changes, restart management network. So if you press yes, it will restart the network settings. It will restart only network settings. It will not restart the server. So we'll click yes, and it has restarted the network settings. Okay, so again, if you want to restart the network settings, you will select this option, restart management network. It will restart again. So let us restart one more time. Okay, if you press F11, which means okay. And if you want to test your management network, let us say you want to ping the default gateway. The default gateway is 192.168.140.2. Okay, it will ping it. So we'll click OK here. It is pinging 140.2. Okay, so we don't have any DNS server in our network. So it is unable to resolve the name here. So if you leave it to default local domain, then it will resolve it. So as of now, we don't have any DNS server. That is why it is getting failed. So no problem. It will work if it is, even if it is failed here in our lab. So this option will restore all your network options. Then if you want to configure the keyboard option, by default it is US. So if you want to change, you will select this option. You will get multiple options here. So again, we will go with US keyboard option. Then this is for the troubleshooting. If you want to see the logs, you will select this option. View support information. Okay, so let us say you want to contact support. So you will provide this, you will contact the support from this website. And if they ask you the details, so you will provide these details like serial number, etc. And the last option, you will escape from here. Right now, we don't need any support. Okay, so let me type F2 one more time. The last option, if you want to reset all the settings which we just did now, if you select the last option, it will reset all the settings. Let us come out of this DCUI now. If you see here, the IP address is configured statically. Previously, it was showing automatically. Now we made it static. If you restart the server, you will get the same IP address. Okay. Now we have done the initial configuration. Now we want to access this server remotely. So how will you access the server remotely? Okay, in our lab, again, whatever if it is a lab or real networks, you will go to your computer. Then you will type the IP address of the server of the ESXi host 192.168.140.10. This is the IP address. And you will get this page. You will get the error message. Okay, it is related to the security. Okay, so it is saying that it is not a secured page because we have not installed the HTTPS here. So we know it is the ESXi host. So we know it is a secured option. So we'll select this advanced. Then we will proceed to 192.168.140.10. You will get this page and you will enter the root username and password.
Sir, I can't get onto it. It's telling me that I can't reach the page.
One more time.
I cannot, when I go onto the website, it won't, and type the IP number, it won't reach the that page. It won't let me go onto that.
Okay, so what is the IP address?
Oh, the IP address is I've changed it into the one I had on the last opted. I've only changed the last opted onto 10.
Okay, then if you are trying to, did you reset the network settings?
I did.
You did the you changed the network settings, right?
I
Still
did,
you
yeah.
are unable to get the page.
Still, I won't be able to get the page.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Try
good?
to ping the IP address.
Okay, give me one. I did that as well, but give me 1 second.
It is not pinging.
It pinged as well, but I don't know if it's got to do with the firewall blocking or something. I don't
Okay,
know.
what you do? Go with the default IP address. Okay, as I told you, if you change, there will be a problem. So don't change even the last octet. Go with the default IP address, whatever the IP address you are getting, and select the static option and try. Okay, let us complete the class first, then
Okay.
we will see. We will troubleshoot the things. Correct?
Okay.
Okay, just give me 2 minutes. All right. So we'll access the ESXi host remotely using web client. This is the web client. Okay, you will open the web browser and you will type the IP address, then you will provide the credentials. And guys, here, this is the ESXi interface. And first, it will take you to this option, host option. Host means the ESXi host. This is the host. And you will see, okay, get vCenter server. So if you want the vCenter server, you can get it from here as well. So it will take you to vSphere website. So as of now, we don't need the vCenter server. And you can create the virtual machine from here. This option is used to create the virtual machine. If you want to shut down this ESXi host, you can shut it down from here. If you want to restart the ESXi host, you can restart from here. And this refresh option, it will refresh this page, this area. Okay, you can say. And action will have multiple options. Like here, you can see you can create the virtual machine from here. And if you go to the action option, you can create the virtual machine from here. You can shut down the router from here as well in the action option, reboot, and you will get the services option as well. So what is this services option? We can access the ESXi host via DCUI. Second option is web client. Third option is vCenter server, and fourth option is you can access the ESXi host via SSH also. Okay, you will have one software called Putty. You will open that Putty software and you will provide the IP address of this vCenter server. Let me show you. Let me open the Putty software. So it is available for free. You can download it from internet. So it is already installed on my computer. Let me open the Putty software. And we will select this SSH option. Then we need to provide the IP address of the ESXi host 192.168.140.10. Then we'll click open. Connection refused. So what is the problem here? Yeah, guys, what is the problem? Because we need to enable this SSH from here. By default, SSH is not enabled. So you will select this option and you can see the SSH is enabled on this host. And to provide the security, we should disable the SSH unless it is necessary for administrative purposes. So whenever you need, you should enable SSH. When you have done with SSH, you should disable it. This is the meaning of this line. Now let us try to access SSH. One 192.168.140.10. We'll click open. We'll click yes. And we need to provide the password here, root password. Noah123 $. So we are able to access the ESXi host and you will get the CLI here. So you can manage the ESXi host via commands as well. So you should know all the commands. So just wanted to show you that we can access the ESXi host via SSH. And where is that option? Action. And under this action, we will go to services and we have this enable console shell as well. So we need to enable this option also. So when you enable this option, you can access the ESXi host, the DCUI here itself. Okay, so let us disable these options. We'll go to action, services. Let us disable secure shell. Let us disable the console shell as well. These are the multiple ways to access the ESXi host. Then we have one enter maintenance mode option. So guys, let us say this ESXi one is having some issues and you want to do some maintenance work here. Maintenance means you want to fix the issue. So in real networks, what we do, we put this device into maintenance mode. Once this device enters into the maintenance mode, all the virtual machines will be moved to another ESXi host. Okay, this is the use of this maintenance mode. Then we have one option called lockdown mode. So this lockdown mode is used to provide the security to your ESXi host. So let us see how it will provide the security to the ESXi host. So if you select the normal lockdown, okay, so with normal lockdown, you can access this ESXi host via DCUI and you will access the ESXi host with vCenter server. You won't be able to access the ESXi host with a web client and SSH. Okay, if the SSH is disabled, you won't be able to access it. So it should be enabled. So then only you can access it. So if you enable this normal mode, you can access the ESXi host using DCUI and SSH. Sorry, DCUI and web client. If SSH is enabled, then you can access it. Otherwise, there is no option here. Now, there is one more option: lockout, strict lockout. Okay, strict lockdown mode. If you select this strict lockdown mode, what will happen? You won't be able to access the ESXi host even with DCUI. It will lock the DCUI as well. So you will be able to access the ESXi host using vCenter server only. If SSH is enabled, then you can access the ESXi host using SSH. Let us say this vCenter server is not working. In this case, how will you access the ESXi host? You must access it via SSH. If it is not enabled, there is no chance you will access the ESXi host. So you need to format the ESXi host. Okay, you need to do the fresh installation. So this lockdown mode, you need to use this carefully. Then permissions means, let us say you have some other engineers as well. You need to add those accounts here. So you will use this permission option. We will see, and in our advanced classes, we'll see. We'll just have the overview of this ESXi interface here. Then generate the support bundle. So let us say you have some issues with ESXi host. You will contact the vSphere support. So vSphere support, they will ask for the log messages. So you need to generate the log messages from here, from this option. And if you want to get the SSH for Chrome, you will select this option. And you will get some other information on the same page, like the CPU. Okay, what is the CPU of this ESXi host? Memory. Okay, the total memory is 4 GB and 2.88 GB is free. And the storage, so we have selected 100 GB, and we are getting 91 GB here. So 9 GB is used by the ESXi host. Guys, it is about 6.7. So what I have done here, I have installed 6.7. If it is 7.0, the minimum hard disk space should be like around 140 GB, and you will get around 12 GB space here. So most of the space is consumed by the ESXi host with 7. Okay, so we will go with 6.7 vSphere 7. It is the new version. Okay, so companies are moving slowly to this 7 version, but most of the organizations are using 6.7. So we'll go with 6.7 only. And here, if you see, this is the storage. And here you are getting the message you are currently using ESXi in evaluation mode, which means we are using the trial version. The license will expire in 60 days. So we will do all our labs way before 60 days. And let us say you are practicing at home and 60 days are over. So you can do the fresh installation. Again, you will get the 60 days. And guys, here you will get all the features. Okay. With trial version or evaluation version, vSphere is not limiting the features here. They will provide you the full-fledged version. And if you see here about hardware, the manufacturer is VMware. If it is HP server, Dell server, you will get their names here. What is the model, CPU, memory? persistent memory, flash. You will get the other hardware information. You will get the IP address here, DNS server, and the image profile, it is 6.7. And here if you see, vSphere high availability is not configured. So we have already discussed what is high availability. It is not configured, yes. So we will configure the high availability in our advanced classes. So this license support vMotion as well. So again, as I told you, we are using the evaluation version. So you will get the vMotion support as well. But in real networks, you need to purchase the licenses for each feature. And you will get the system information here like date and time on host. What is the date and time on the ESXi host? May 19th, 2022. Install date again May 19, 2022. And you will get the tag, serial number, BIOS version, etc. You will get the storage information and how many physical adapters are there. Storage means we have only one data store. We have 100 GB storage here on this device. So if you have multiple storages, you will get the list of storages. And you will get the performance summary by last hour. So you need to monitor the performance of this device. You can monitor it from here. You will go to host and you will get the performance summary option here. Okay, so we have covered these many things. And if you go to, okay, if you see here, we have logged in with root username and password, and this is the IP address here. And if you click this option, you will get auto refresh. It is by default off. You can select 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So if you select 15 seconds, so it will get refreshed after 15 seconds. You can change the password. You can go to the settings option. You will get these many settings here. If you want to log out from this user, you will select this logout option. You go to help. So in the help, you will get the version information of this ESXi. About, you will select about and you will get the version information. And it is having some other information as well. And you will select the manage option. Under the manage option, you will see system, hardware, licensing, packages, services, security and users option. So you will get the system information here. If you select the hardware, so what hardwares are installed here, what licensing are available here. So we will get all the licenses. As I told you, this is the evaluation version and you will get the complete licenses. What packages are installed on this ESXi host, you will get it here in this packages section. What services are running, DCUI, IBDT, etc. Security and users. Okay, so you will get the authentication option, certificate, user role. So you will get how many users are added on this ESXi. As of now, only root user is added and you will get the role. So this is the administrator anonymous. So many roles are there. We'll discuss about these roles in our coming classes. Lockdown mode. Okay, so it is disabled. If you enable the lockdown mode, as I told you, it will limit you to access the ESXi host. Then if you want to do the monitoring of this ESXi host, you can monitor the performance, hardware, events, okay, whatever the things you have done on this ESXi host, you will get it here. Okay, so if you remember, ESXi command line shell is disabled. So we have disabled the SSH. All the events will be accounted here. All the events will be logged here, you can say. SSH has been disabled. And enter shell for host ESXi local domain has been enabled. So whatever the things you are going to do, all the things will be available here. So it is recommended you not to do anything which is not in your scope. Okay, otherwise all the things will be stored here and you will be in trouble. Then task, log messages. notifications. Okay, so this is for the monitoring. If you want to do the monitoring, you will select this option. And we have not created any virtual machine yet. So if you see here virtual machine option, it is showing 0. Then we have storage option. We have only one data store. So you will get the information about that data store. And this networking option, it is about the virtual networking. So as we have discussed, by default, it will create one virtual switch. So this is the default virtual switch, V switch 0. And it is having two different adapters, VM network and management network. So again, guys, we will discuss about this virtual networking in great detail. We are going to discuss the storage part also in great detail. So if you want to get the storage information, you will select this option, networking option will provide you the networking information here. So this is the overview of this ESXi interface. Any doubt, guys?
It's
Any
okay.
doubt? Others?
No, sir. No, sir.
Clear. Okay, Ahmed, Preet, any doubt?
No, it's okay, sir.
All right. Now, so we have installed let us go back to the slide. So we have installed ESXi host, we have configured the settings, and we have accessed the ESXi remotely, and we have seen the overview as well. Now we will create the virtual machine. Okay, so let us go and to the ESXi host and create the virtual machine. So you can create the virtual machine from here. You can create the
Sir,
virtual machine
sir, I
from
have
here
one
as
question.
well.
Sir, what we are doing through the GUI mode, can we do the CLI mode through the Putty software?
Yeah, we can do it, but you should know the commands, right?
So for command from where we will run from.
No, we are going to see only the GUI. When the
Okay.
GUI option is there, why to use the command line? Okay, if you means want to learn the command line, you can Google the things. You will get the commands there from the VMware website.
Okay, sir.
Got the point?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let us create the virtual machine. You can create the virtual machine. You will go to host and you can create the virtual machine from here. You can create the virtual machine from here as well. So let us select any one option here. And once you select the create virtual machine option, you will get three options here. Create a new virtual machine. Okay, which means this option will create the virtual machine from scratch. The last option, register an existing virtual machine. Let us say you already have an virtual machine. So you want to register that virtual machine. So you will select the third option. And the second option is about ready-made virtual machines. So most of the organizations are providing the ready-made virtual machines. They are called as what do you say, OVF and OVF files. So what is this ready-made virtual machine? So what they do, they create the virtual machine. They install the operating system on the top of the virtual machine, and they will install the application. Everything is ready there. All you need to do is you need to deploy that ready-made virtual machine. So where we are going to see that deployment of vCenter server. So vCenter server is available as a ready-made virtual machine. You will get the OVF or OVA file of vCenter server. So what we are going to do now, we will create a new virtual machine. So we'll select the first option. Then we'll click next. You need to provide the virtual machine name. So why you are creating this virtual machine? So we are creating this virtual machine, let us say, for installing the Windows operating system. And you can go specific as well. You are installing the Windows operating system for domain controller. So you can directly write Windows operating system domain controller. So right now what we will do, Windows Server 1. So you should give any meaningful name, and you will get these three options here: compatibility, guest OS family, guest OS version. Compatibility means you will get multiple versions here from 4.x to 6.7. So what will happen? Let us say you have selected the compatibility option 6.7. Okay. And you have one more ESXi host. ESXi, let us say it is working on version 5. Let us say it is ESXi 2. And this ESXi is working on version 5, and it is compatible with 5 only. And if you have selected 6.7, in future, if you want to move this virtual machine from this ESXi 1 to 2, you can't move it because the other ESXi host is supporting version 5, and this virtual machine is compatible with 6.7. So in your environment, if you have different versions, go with the lowest version. Let us say we have version 5. So what will you do in that case? You will select 5.0. Now, after creating this virtual machine, if you want to move this current virtual machine to ESXi 2, you can easily move it because this machine is compatible with 5.0. So in our environment, we don't have any 5.0 version, so we will go with the latest version 6.7. Okay, we'll go with the latest one 6.7 U2. Then you need to select the guest OS family. So guys, what is the meaning of guest OS here? Guest OS means, let us say this is your physical machine. You have installed the ESXi host. On the top of this ESXi host, ESXi you have created one virtual machine. On the top of this virtual machine, you have installed the operating system. This operating system is your guest operating system, and ESXi is the host operating system. So which guest operating system you are going to install here? So we are going to install Windows Server 2022 operating system. We are going to install Windows Server here. So we will select Windows. Which version you are going to install? We are going to install Windows Server 2022. You will get the list of operating systems here. So select the operating system which you want to install. We are going to install Windows Server 2012, 64-bit. Guys, why we are providing the information here? Why it is asking for the operating system family and operating system version? So based on these inputs, this ESXi will make the environment ready for this operating system. Okay, if you provide this information and if you install 2022, it is not going to work because it has created the virtual machine based on these inputs. You can't install any other operating system. Then we will click next, and we need to select the data store where you want to install this operating system. So we have only one data store, and this is the capacity 92.5 GB. So we'll go with this data store. We'll click next. And guys, so physical server has the physical hardware. It is having physical resources. Virtual machine will have the virtual resources, like it is having the virtual CPU, virtual memory. So it has selected two CPUs, virtual memory 4 GB, hard disk it is 40 GB. And as I told you, based on our input, it will select the hardware. So we should go with the default settings. So based on the the inputs we have given previously, it has selected these hardwares. SCSI controller is a SATA, USB controller one, network adapter, CD, DVD, video card, everything is installed. Guys, but here we will make one change for our lab. This change is for our lab only. Okay. So what is that change? You will go to the hard disk. Under this hard disk, you will get these options: thin provision, thick provision. So we will select the, by default, it has selected the thick provision. Thick provision means, if you see here, it has selected 40 GB. And if you select thick provision, so it will provide 40 GB right away. It will allocate 40 GB to this virtual machine right away, even though it is going to use 40 GB or not. Okay. If you select thin provision, so thin provision will promise this virtual machine that it will provide 40 GB, but it will not provide the 40 GB right away. It will provide the memory or the hard disk whenever it needed. Let us say right now it required 4 GB. It will commit 40 GB, but it will provide only 4 GB. After some times it required 2 GB, so it will provide 2 GB. So whenever it required the hard disk, this thin provision will provide the storage based on the requirement. So we will go with thin provision because we don't have much storage on our labs. So we will go with thin provision. But in real networks, you will have a lot of storage, so you can go with thick provision, and it will provide the storage right away. Then we'll click next, and it is ready to complete. You can review your settings, like what is the name of virtual machine data store, which operating system you are going to install. Okay, if you want to make the changes, you can go back and you can make the changes. Then we will click finish. So here you can see you will get the task here. Whatever the task you have done, it will be shown here. So we have created the virtual machine successfully. And where is this virtual machine available? It is available in the virtual machines option. Previously, it was showing 0 virtual machines. Now we have created Windows Server 1, but this virtual machine is empty. The operating system is not installed yet. We need to install the operating system. How to install the operating system? So guys, you need to have the operating system ISO image, or you should have a CD. Okay. So in our lab, we are going to install the operating system using ISO image. So I have already downloaded the Windows Server ISO image on my computer. Let me show you where it is installed. Again, on my desktop, there is one folder, software. Under this software, we'll go to ISO images. Under this ISO images, Windows Server 2012. Okay, we will go with 2012. We'll select this option. So you can download this ISO image from Microsoft website. I will provide the link as well if you need. And again, the same thing, you need to create the account on Microsoft website, then only you will be able to download the ISO images. Okay, all right, guys. So we have created this virtual machine. So guys, on real networks, let us say on the physical server, this is your physical server. Let us say it is HP server. And you have installed the operating system. Then you will install the applications. So to install the operating system, to install the application, you will have the monitor, physical monitor, correct? Then only you can install the operating system, you can install the application. So here, this is a virtual machine. So where is the monitor of this virtual machine? Okay, let us click this virtual machine, Windows Server 1, and the monitor, you will find the monitor here. This is not the monitor. Console is the monitor of this virtual machine. This monitor means you will monitor the virtual machine. So don't get confused. So if you want to see the output, you will select the console option. So we need to power it on. We need to power on this virtual machine and you will get the console here. So we will use the terminology console. This console is the monitor. So you can get this console in multiple ways. So if you go to console, you can open the console in the browser console. This is the browser console. And as we have discussed, it doesn't have any operating system. So it looks like this. Then we will close it. Let us see the second option. Open console in new window. So it will open in new window. So you will get the console, you will get the monitor in the new window. You have multiple options. If one option is not working, you can go with another option. Then open console in a new tab. It will open the console in the new tab. So these options are related to the browser. Let us see the last option. Launch remote console. To get the remote console, you need to install this software, VMRC, Virtual Machine Remote Console. So once you click that option, this page will be opened. From this page, you will download that software. Okay, you will download Virtual Machine Remote Console from this option. Again, it will get downloaded. Then you need to install the software. After installing the software, again, you need to log into the vSphere VMware website. After installing that software, you will select Launch Remote Console. Then you will select this option, Open VMware Remote Console. You can see this software is opened here, VMware Remote Console. So VMware is providing the flexibility. If one option is not working, you can go with another option. So connect anyway, and you will get the console of your virtual machine. So now guys, we need to install the operating system. So we need to have the image. So in this case, what will you do? You will go to edit option. Under the edit option, you will go to CD DVD. So from where you install the operating system using CD DVD, right? So here also you need to go to CD DVD option. So it is having two options here, host device and data store ISO file. Host device means if you select this host device option, so you need to insert the DVD in the physical machine. It will it will boot from the physical machine. And the second option, ISO image. So for this ISO image, you need to upload the ISO image in the data store one. So how will you upload it? So let us go with the upload option. How will you upload? You will select this upload option and you should have the ISO image on your computer. So you can see on my desktop in the software folder ISO image, then we will go to Windows Server 2012 and it is having the ISO image here. So it will take some time to upload the ISO image. We'll wait for the upload, then we'll continue. All right, so it is uploaded to this data store. So we'll select the ISO image, then we'll select this option select, then we'll click save. Now we have provided the path of ISO image. What we will do, we will power off this or we will restart. This virtual machine. Let us access the console. This is the console. So it is restarting the server. Now you can see it is loading the file. It is installing the Windows Server operating system now. So you'll select the language. Then we'll select this install now option. Setup is starting. So how many of you know how to install the operating system, Windows Server operating system?
Sir, I know.
Others, you know how to install the server operating system?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So anyhow, we will see how to install it. So here you will get 4 options like we all know. It is having a standard data center version. So we'll go with the data center version. The last option you should select. Then we'll click next. We'll accept the license terms. Then we'll click next. And we are installing the operating system from scratch. So we'll select the second option, not the first option. Then you will click new here. Apply. It will create some partitions. The first partition is used to store the supporting file of this operating system. Then in the second partition, you will install the operating system. So the second partition will be your C drive. Then we'll click next and it will copy the Windows file. Then it will get the files ready for installation. Then it will install the features. It will install the updates. Then it will finish up the installation. It will take some time. Let us wait for the installation. All right. So any doubt?
No, sir.
Others? Someone was having the doubt in accessing the ESXi host remotely.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. Are you able to access it now?
No, not yet. I still can't.
Okay, no issues. So download the 6.7 U3 and install it again. Okay. You and Rajiv. Rajiv, you also download the 6.7 and install it. And if you have any
Yes.
doubt with password, just let me know.
Okay, so we don't need the 7.0
That
whatever.
issue I have resolved it, sir. That is why I have done it. I've installed it 7.v spare.
Okay, it is done, right?
Yes, sir, it is done.
Okay, all right, no problem. So go with 6.7 U3, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And what should we do? You will wait for the installation to be done.
Sir, if you will provide the slide, then it will be better.
Slides are already there, okay, in the
Installation.
link.
We can do the window installation, sir. We can.
Okay, no issues, means almost done. So
Okay,
what
sir.
will
Okay, sir.
happen here?
We will wait.
It will reach here. It will getting the files ready, then it will install the features, then it will install the update. It will finish up the things. All right. So
Okay.
it is available in the videos as well, which I have provided you. After installing the operating system, tomorrow what we are going to do, we need to install the drivers on this Windows Server operating system. Okay, these drivers are called as VMware tools. Okay, we need to install the VMware tools after installing this operating system. So again, it will do the same thing. Okay, we are not going to do anything here. It will finish up the things and it will make the operating system ready. So tomorrow we will see how to log in to this operating system. Clear, guys?
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
All right. So see you tomorrow. Take care. Please do the labs. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you. Welcome. If you want, you can stay. If you want, you can leave. So anyhow, I am going to install this operating system. So the operating system is installed and it will restart the server after installing it. It is getting the operating system ready. Then like ESXi, it will also create the account. It will create the administrator account. ESXi has created the root account. It will create the administrator account. So both the accounts will have the full privileges. So if you observe here, the administrator account is created. We need to assign the password. So we'll go with the same password, NOA123 hash dollar, NOA123 hash dollar. But in real network, the password should be different. Then we'll click finish here, and it is finalizing the settings. And we need to press the Control Alt Del option. So you will generate this Control Alt Del from here. Then you will provide the password NOA123 hash dollar. So guys, the installation is done. We are able to log on to this Windows Server operating system successfully. Tomorrow we will install the drivers and we'll see the other labs tomorrow. Okay guys, take care. See you tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.